find out how to build custom car parks in Cities Skylines 2. Hello and welcome back to a new video on the channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how to create custom and functional car parks in CS2. I'll also show you how I've used them effectively throughout my city, which will hopefully get you ready to start using them in yours. And stick around till the end of the video for some bonus detailing and tips to help decorate your parking lots. So before we get into it, if you enjoy the video, please give it a like and let me know what you think down below. Your engagement really helps with the algorithm and helps support me as a creator. Now, car parks may sound incredibly boring, but stick with me here as this might be my new favourite thing in the game right now, and it's another huge addition to the game. Technically this was already possible using dev mode, but it's only just now with the introduction of mods, namely Anarchy, that this feature has become more useful in game. It's thanks to some new features added for the Bulldozer tool that we're now able to delete invisible networks, which has made custom car parks now much more accessible. Okay, so before I show you how, I just want to quickly run through the new features for the Bulldozer tool, which come with the Anarchy Mod by Yin Yang. So whilst not all are needed for these car parks, there are some pretty useful tools. If I select the first option, it allows me to delete both sims and vehicles. So this is very useful. Very occasionally vehicles can get stuck and eventually block your city with traffic jams. The second option allows us to demolish buildings without the prompt which asks if we're sure we want to do it. This is probably just useful as a little time saver. The fourth button is also super useful. It allows us to delete any surface in a single click. You know, this is really handy if you want to delete the grass surface from existing buildings. And finally, the third icon, which is useful for these custom car parks. So this allows us to delete markers and invisible roads. So markers aren't really too useful at this stage, but what really is special is being able to delete invisible roads. Now this only applies to networks which we plop down ourselves. Unfortunately, we can't actually delete ones inside of buildings quite yet. The Anarchy Mod with all of these features is available now on Thunderstore. So go and grab that, I'll leave a link down in the description. Right, so let's get started then on how to create these car parks. And we will of course be using the invisible roads. So if I open the add object menu, which is accessible through dev mode, and I search for the word invisible, you'll see here 4 networks called invisible road path. We have variations such as one-way, two-way, and most importantly the network called two-way perpendicular. You'll see this perpendicular network actually comes with functional car parking. So to create car parks, simply all we need to do is draw out the two-way perpendicular network and have one end be near a road. It's that simple. But just don't connect the network directly to the road as you would normally. Instead have it finish maybe just 1 unit away, kind of like you would with a pedestrian path. You can see that there's 2 lines here which are like sticking out from the end of the network. This shows you that is connected to the street. And that should work, so if I let the game play out, you'll see cars start to show up and fill the lot. What I also like to do is go to the road upgrade tool and ban parking on nearby streets by widening the sidewalks. That just seems to get the cars parking where I want them to. Once done, you can then of course add the pavement surface below the parking spaces, which just helps complete the look. And that's it, you know, so in its simplest form. But where Anarchy comes in handy, if you make a mistake or then you want to delete the networks afterwards, now you can do that. So you can join parking spaces on different angles with the two-way network, just use the one without the parking. You can also use these same networks for your entrances and exits, and then feed the parking spaces off of them. You know, there's just so much flexibility with different layouts of car parks now. So these additions just a few months after the game release is already huge progress in my opinion. And don't forget to also detail up your car parks for added realism. We have so many props we can use, you know, trash and recycling containers, foliage, fences, we've got safety cones, trash, lots and lots of stuff we can use. I also like to use decals to add in extra car parking spaces just to fill the gaps around the functional ones. It just helps complete the look. Before creating this video, I wanted to have a good play first, you know, and try out a few different types of car parks, really see them in action and how flexible they are in different situations. The places I found most useful to use these custom car parks are behind medium and high density buildings, filling in these gaps. It just makes them feel so much more realistic, like you'd see in real life. I also find it works well using them in combination with unique buildings, like with the school asset here. Especially when your block is on an angle like this one is, the parking is then made to fit the exact space. There's also, of course, larger parking lots, such as for shopping centres and sporting venues. We can now create these to any shape and size we want. You know, seriously, this mod just opens up so much variety and flexibility. We can fill up these awkward angles on our city blocks with parking lots, and even in smaller spaces in between zoning. And lastly, try creating parking lots on curved roads, or heck, you know, even in circles if you want to. It just helps add more variety and more realism. Here I've used them in combination with a pedestrian road like a promenade. It really helps give it a great look, you know, makes the area feel much more alive. I did of course get a little carried away detailing these car parks, but overall they look so damn good. The functionality works amazingly too. It's great to see parked cars not just crowding up the streets, instead filling up our custom parking. Again, another huge addition to the game, which will help your cities feel more detailed, more realistic and more alive. Okay, so stick around now till the end of the video for some extra detailing footage. Here you can see me creating and detailing some of these car parks you've seen today. if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and let me know what you think down below. Your engagement really helps with the algorithm and helps support me as a creator. So thanks again for watching, my name is Sully, and I'll catch you all again in the next video.